Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Experienceify Open Office Hours. It is 3 p.m. on November 3rd, and it is great to see everybody. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for turning on your camera. It's good to see you. It's one of those open office hours that's going to be a little more popular because I have two factors. I sent an email today, so a lot of people are going to hear about it. Don't normally send an email. And also we've got a lot of experienced product masterclass folks who have jumped in. So we've got the regulars who are joining me who are like, what's going on? And that's because everybody, Sharelle is there. Everybody has joined us from the Experience Product Masterclass because we just launched EPM, and all these wonderful folks have joined us, and they're building their experience product, and we're in the first stages right now, just started the second week, and we're working on things like mission and what your product is going to be about and how to talk about it, all that good stuff that makes you WTF a little bit and wondering if you're in the right place or wondering if you're going in the right direction. And full disclosure, we've had folks get to week 10 of 12 weeks of EPM and then completely pivot their idea because they realized they were going in the wrong direction, and they got a lot of feedback from people, and they realized they needed to do this and not that. And if that happens to you, if you're spending weeks and you can't quite nail the big idea or the product angle or the message or the mission, don't worry. This is part of the process. This is just exactly what's expected in this journey. And if this is your first time going through it, you might not be aware of that, and you might think something wrong with you or the process or the course itself, and just know that this is totally natural. And if this is something that's important to you, like I know this is, then it's going to be hard, and that's just for me a signal that I'm on the right path. And one of the signals for me that I'm on the right path, and I'll get to Experienceify in just a second, one of the signals is that for me is that I'm starting to speak to more people about Experienceify, and that scares the absolute living out of me, because now I've got this 50 people here on the line, and I've never had 50 people on an open office hours before, and part of me is like wants to shrivel up and turn off the camera and go away and not even engage. But I know that I've just got to keep talking and keep talking and keep talking and just get used to talking about what it is I'm doing, because I believe in it so much. And I know that you're the same. You believe in what you're doing, and if it feels a little challenging to talk to people about it, that's because you're on the right path. That's because it's important to you. So keep doing it. Just keep doing it, and you'll get to where you want to go. That's my little soapbox for the start of my inspiration for the start of this call. And we're here to talk about Experienceify, and a lot of folks here, as I mentioned, have just joined us in EPM, and they got this amazing Experienceify bonus that we initially advertised as 3 months of Experienceify, a free account, and we ended up extending it for another month and a bit, just to give you a little more time with it, a little more space to really feel like you can take it slow, and you can get your information and your content in there on your own pace. So you don't have to feel rushed. You don't have to try and get everything done all at the same time. We want to give you time to get your ducks in a row and figure out what you're doing. So it's really amazing to me to see, gosh, it's almost 60 people on the line now. So who are interested in launching their experience product on this platform, and it is the platform to be on if you are interested in it. And because you're in EPM, I know you are interested in experientification, gamification, engagement, student success, all those kinds of things. This is the platform where we're building all these features to focus on helping you get results for your students. So they want to tell their friends about you, and they want to buy from you again and again, and buy your next product and your next product. And that's what we're doing. So I know that I'm going to get a lot of questions from folks saying, can your platform do this, and can it do that, and can it match what Kajabi can do, that's been around for more than 10 years. And let me just speak to this right now, just to save you asking a bunch of questions that I'm going to give you the same answer to over and over. The odds are that no, we probably don't do everything that these other platforms do. Reason one is that we haven't been around that long. It's been probably just under a year that we've been in existence, and we've been building as fast as we can. We've got a medium-sized team, but there's only so much you can do with limited resources. So we probably can't do everything that you want, but the thing we can do is we're doing the experientification, and we're helping you really engage with your students and get them to take action. And that's what's really important here. Getting them into action, keeping them taking action, getting them results. That's what's important here. It's not about, can it do all these integrations? And can it do all this? Can it do this? Let's focus on what's important here, which is getting people into action and keeping them in action, because your typical information product and online course only gets 3% of people across the finish line. And that's a disaster. So that's the problem we're trying to solve here. So all of that said, thank you for sticking with me through that. And gosh, we have 75 people on the line now, and this is getting just horrifying for me. So, but everyone's smiling and waving. I appreciate that. Appreciate all your kind words in the chat. And Laura says, you're going to have a great experience in EPM. And that is exactly right. As long as you can trust the process and trust that Marisa knows the path, and know that everything that's coming up is exactly what you need to go through at this point in order to get what you most want. Okay. Got some diehards on the line. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate those kind words. Let me start to dig into some questions, I guess, and I can also demonstrate a few features as well if people are interested in that. But this is an open office hours where I'm inviting you to come on and ask me questions about the platform and what it can do and how it can help you launch your own course to the world, and how you can help more people with this. All right, so let me scroll back up, and thank you to everyone sending peace and love. Cheryl, I need a bit of calm, actually. I've had too much coffee today. That's what I need. I've got this this Relax essential oil blend. It's not working yet. Okay. Okay, so FYI, I do this call once every 2 weeks. So I'm going to be emailing you on Tuesday every 2 weeks to remind you I'm doing this call. And I'm going to get better at sending my email updates as well. So let me dive into the questions. And also I can if you want, you can open your microphone and ask me directly, but let me just quickly tackle these ones already in the chat here. Susan asks, can I integrate with Infusionsoft? Can I change my URL? Yes, through Zapier. We have a Zapier integration right now. So we decided to go with Zapier because it gives us the biggest bang for the buck in terms of integrations with everything. And it just means that we can deal with that, we can solve it, and then we can move on to the features that are important to us. All right, so we've done that with Zapier, so you can integrate. We have Infusionsoft for Leave Your Message, so we do all of our integrations through there. And you will be able to change your URL by the end of next week. So don't worry, you'll be able to, you can just go ahead and put in all your content if you have stuff to put in already, and if you do, fantastic. You can start to put it in, but then at the end of 2 weeks, then you can, once we've released that feature, you can just rename your school name. We call it the school name. It could be your personal name .experientify.io or your business name .experientify.io. You'll be able to change it, and also we're releasing some custom domain features as well. So you'll be able to have yourschool.com as the domain for your membership site, and that's probably our most requested feature, so we'll be adding that by the end of next week. He says to great acclaim and applause. Okay, let me see. So Michelle asks about Stripe. She couldn't get a Stripe account set up because she hasn't created a business LLC. Does it really need a business or an LLC? If it does, then you can use the Zapier. You can take payment through PayPal if you want to, and use Zapier to get that student information over to us as well. You can integrate with any number of different shopping cart systems and get the data over to us through Zapier. Don't forget, we have an amazing help center as well. Let me just put in a link into the chat here. Maybe you're not aware of the help center yet because you're you're new to Experienceify, but that's a link to the Help Center. I've answered every question I can think of here in the Help Center, so why don't you take a look there? And if you find anything I haven't answered yet, just let me know, and I will get to it. I'll answer that question.
Murray,
Hi.
it's Sherelle.
Hey.
I went through that with Stripe, and you don't need to, they just need your personal tax ID information.
Okay.
You don't require a company.
Okay. So to the person who was asking about Stripe, yeah, apparently you don't need to have an LLC, which is fantastic. Okay, so let me scroll down. I've never had so many comments on an open office hours. This is kind of thrilling. Let me see. Sharon asks, is there a facility to set up a student community on Experienceify? That's a big, highly requested feature we have as well. We're planning to, first of all, add a comment stream to the trainings into the modules. So people will be able to leave comments under modules and trainings, and then give you a central page where you can see all of the comments that have been left under everything. Every piece of content, you'll see the comments there. We're planning to do that. And as well, perhaps we'll see whether people request it, but perhaps some sort of community forum. We don't know yet, but definitely we'll be doing the comments. And the reason for that is that we want to allow you to award XPs to people who leave comments, because it's all about engagement, isn't it? So you'll be able to turn on or off the comment system. So you can use a Facebook group if you prefer, or you can just turn on the comments in the membership site, and then people can leave comments. Then you can actually set it up so that people can earn XPs if they leave comments, or if they leave a certain amount of comments. So it's all about how do you encourage people to engage and to participate more than what they would do normally in a traditional membership site. So these are the things we're thinking of, and we're trying to kind of really lead the market in this area. So thanks for asking, Sharon. Barry says, yep, engagement and experience is far more valuable than Kajabi. We just canceled. Good to see you back, Barry. It's wonderful to see you back. Thank you. Sylvie wants a demo.
Thank you, Murray. It's nice to be seen.
Thank you, mate. It's
Actually, I'm in the car right now. Just came out of the pool because I live in Southern California like you. And I have to tell everybody that's listening, if you'll be so kind to listen to these words, this is the best program existing on the planet today. I don't get paid to say that, because it is all about experience. There is nothing else. Kajabi is wonderful for putting stuff up, but it's like a bulletin board. It just sits there. This is about engagement, experience, action, love, power, passion, purpose, and pleasantness. Thank you, Murray. Thank you, Marisa.
Thank you, Barry. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Barry Shaw. A little round of applause there for that performance. Love the beard. Love the beard. I'm modeling my own on your.
Yeah, well, they call it a COVID beard.
I'm on my way. We'll see how I go. We'll compare beards in a bit.
Okay, beard to beard. Best wishes.
Okay. Okay. Another request from Nancy on show us some of the new features I recently sent the email on a couple of weeks ago. Yep, I can definitely dive into those as well. I just want to get through these questions. Susan's asking about my mic. I have a mic here. The mic is sort of sitting down here. My mic arm broke, so I'm kind of just perching it down here. Normally I've got a mic that sits here. So I'm just kind of low-teching it today. And that's a lesson for everybody. Don't fall into the tech trap. Don't over-tech or try to create your perfect world, forever tech solution. It doesn't exist. You will never, ever get it right out of the gate. And by the time you actually build the damn thing, your needs will have changed. You'll have moved on. Your business will need other requirements met. And the solution that you spent so long, all the ducks in a row that you spent so long getting in a row, it's going to be for nothing, because you'll have other needs as well. So I didn't explain that very well, but don't try to solve tomorrow's problems today. Solve today's problems today. And right now, you might not even need to put your stuff on a membership site. And I know that I shouldn't be saying that to you because I'm the membership site guy on this call and I want you to stay with me. But the fact is that I'm going to tell it to you like it is. And for some of you, you probably know who you are. If you're right at the beginning of this journey, you probably don't need technology to deliver what you're doing. You could just start out with a Facebook group or some other simple solution where you deliver live like I am here on Zoom, you deliver the training, you talk to people, you put a recording on a page somewhere, Google Doc even. Just something that allows you to get your first beta product out that doesn't have technology getting in your way and slowing you down, getting in the way of what's really important, which is connecting with students and making money, making sure the product is going to sell. So that's my soapbox on technology. Okay. Jane's asking, apologies if I miss any questions. Okay, Bet, let me go back up to Bet. Can it add the dings when a task is completed for my project? Will I be able to see if a client has completed all tasks? So you can add dings and bells and buzzers and all that stuff for any sort of XP or a double XP combination. So there's a config area in the back end right now where you can just add all of your sound effects. And we'll be expanding that over time to different other things as well. And don't forget to look for the celebrations as well. That's where you can set up a full screen sort of gamified celebration when people finish their course. And coming in about 2 weeks, you can set up celebrations for when people finish a training or a module or anything, any kind of other achievement in the system. So we've got these things in the pipeline right now. I got, let me see, Mario's got a question about coaching, the coaching document and milestones. This is an Experienceify call, Mario. It's not a leave your message EPM call. So if you have questions about your coaching document, please contact the LYM Leave Your Message support team. They'll help you. Okay. Let me see. So I got a question from Jim. I'm not sure what you're asking me there, Jim. Got Jane here. Are we able to add a button to the pre-actions? Not at this point, I'm afraid, Jane. It's just text, and you can hyperlink as well. So you can add HTML and hyperlinks so that you can just basically simulate what the button would do. You have a link and you can just click on a link and link out to the thing that you wanted to send them to. That's what we did in EPM. So we just
thank you, Maria. I actually learned that today. Before I came on the call, I learned how to do that so that I wouldn't have to ask you today.
Okay. All right.
So
good to know.
Thank you for that teaching, because I was able to figure it out with my
Right.
limited tech ability. So thank you.
I've got instructions from the Help Center about how to do exactly this. So check that out, folks, if you want to get the HTML to use to do that. Michelle says, I'm very excited to start learning this, working on my beta test. Is it possible to have an upsell in the cart or 2 different price points? Unfortunately, not just yet. These are great, sort of nice to have shopping cart things. And we are trying to get to everything, but unfortunately you can never get to everything that you want. And we've kind of, when you have a software, you've got to make a decision on what's the most important thing and put that first. And for us, it's the experientification and the gamification. So that's really that's what we're putting all our focus in right now. We'll revisit this probably in January, whether we start to add features to the shopping cart, because we are getting some requests for upsells and different price point configurations and things like that. So yes and no is my answer there. Okay, you want to rephrase that question, Brad, so that I can give you one clear answer? That one feels a bit open-ended. Sylvie asks, can you talk about what the gamification features are? So to begin with, things like, well, the first place we started were things like the full screen celebrations. Let me show you quickly what I mean by that, and then I'll flick back to the camera. But full screen celebrations would be course completion celebration, and then let's just choose the one you want, and then type in the text that you want. So this will actually trigger once somebody finishes your course. So let's trigger it and see what happens. So there are a range of different celebrations that you can choose from. Maurice's favorite is the 1980s monkey. So you'd customize that with how you worked really hard and you did it. Congratulations. So we're adding more celebrations all the time to the system. And we also have a celebration builder coming in about 2 weeks where you can create your own celebrations, which will be very, very awesome. So that's one of the first examples of the gamification aspect that we're building in. We want to make it more like a video game or more like an app where there's little animations and celebrations and customizable things that will pop up for the student and make them sort of like interrupt them in, like, they're thinking that the experience is like a boring, information product, and then something pops up that makes them, holy cow, what was that? And they realize that this is a different kind of experience. This is something else they've never seen before. So this is the whole purpose of what we're doing. We want to pattern interrupt them all the time so they don't get into this trap of feeling like it's just training after training after training after training, because that's when people disengage and they hit, they think, oh, I'm getting sick of this, I'm going to go and watch Netflix, and they never come back. Honestly, most people never come back once you've lost them. So these are the sorts of things we're building. Hopefully that gives you like an initial idea of the kind of things we're thinking about with the gamification, Sylvie.
Murray, may I interject another point here?
Why
Barry
not?
Shore here. Okay, let me just do this again. For people who want to see me, if you don't, that's okay. So just to echo everything that Murray and Marisa are teaching and such. So I think everybody's here has heard the name of Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins is very famous for teaching PI, P-I. It is
Barry, you cut out.
absolutely.
Can you say that again? You cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Tony Robbins teaches about PI, pattern interrupters. It is just so important, Katie, not other people, but it's to interrupt the pattern every so often so that they become eating and eating and eating, and therefore get indigestion. It's good to eat a piece of chew it, savor it, and the next. That's Marissa have built here. This ability to take information and use it for transformation. Yay, team.
Thanks again, Barry. Appreciate that. And Barry is cutting out a bit here and there, but he's totally right. We're all about how do you create pattern interrupt experiences throughout their process of learning, throughout their process of going through the course with you. And those are the kinds of tools we're building into the platform. And we'll be making it very easy for you to do that as well. There'll be lots of different sort of presets that you can just add with one click, and then they'll just be dropped into your course. Then you don't have to even think about it. So that's what we're building. Okay. I got Bet who asks, do we have to know what Stripe is? Do we have to know what Stripe is, or any of the other programs that more tech-savvy people are mentioning? Well, Stripe is just a payment processing service. It's pretty easy to set it up, and it's very easy to integrate. Yeah, so if you want to take payments for your course, you need a payment processor, whether it's PayPal or another shopping cart or Stripe. And we find we've integrated with Stripe for our order form. It's a very simple setup. And once you've done it, we've got documentation for you to do that. Once you've done it, then it's done, and the order forms just work. So I recommend it as a good solution for you to start to take payments for your course. And Juan on the help desk will help you get that set up too, if that will be helpful. So, and it's cost the same as PayPal to use. Cheryl asks, do we have plans to incorporate an affiliate feature in the future? Yes, we have it on the roadmap. It's not really penciled in terms of like on the calendar yet, but we've got some requests for it. But again, see my previous point up there about what our main focus is right now. we want to make you more money and let you have more impact and help more people and get them back to buy from you again and again. That's really what we're all about. Okay. Does the shopping cart? Okay. So okay. Sylvie's asking about sales tax. We're not trying to solve sales tax for you. We cannot solve sales tax for you. Sales tax. There are companies set up specifically to solve sales tax. That's not us. So if you need a sales, I think Stripe are working on a sales tax solution. I'm sure PayPal has some sort of sales tax solution. I would encourage you to contact them and ask how they can help you sort that out and get the reports that you need. But that is not us. Sorry. Okay. Brad asked about the help center. Where is that? Where is it? I'll just post that link in here again for you. The help center is right there, and you can see the help center right here inside of Experientify under this link called Help Center. So that will take you straight to the Help Center. Okay, next question. This is fun. Holly. Okay, let me scroll up. I'm missing a bunch. I'm sorry. Jocelyn asks about whether she just signed up for a 14-day trial or whether there's a special link. If you're EPM, if you're with us in EPM, then there is a special link to get the 4.13 month trial. You can see the nerd in me coming out, can't you? It's a special link. You'll find it in your bonuses page on the membership site, and that will get you the extended trial on Experientify. And if you did get the 14-day trial already, then just write to Juan on the help desk, and he'll upgrade your account. He'll just extend the trial period for you.
Okay, thank you, Mary.
You bet. Okay. Got a question from David about the Google survey. I think that's an EPM question for the Chatterbox campaign, David. So I recommend you ask on the Facebook group or ask our support team about that. Titania is asking, can you work around the upsell by having first action be an option to go to another sales page? Not sure what you mean. Sorry. Got Peter here who says, some of my content is pretty deep, getting parents to reflect on their own childhood. Dings, bells, and whistles will feel rather disrespectful for people who've been through a lot of trauma. Are there any other sounds I could use which won't feel as they're being laughed at? This is a really, really great question, Peter. Thank you for asking. As you might have noticed in EPM, we like to use the cha-ching sound effect. Let me go back to my browser. Let me throw the sound effect in here. I'm going to play this sound effect here, the cha-ching. So we find that's great for EPM because our mission is to help people make money. And I get that your content is not about helping people to make money. And a lot of people on this call might be in the same boat. Your content is more serious, quote unquote, or deeper, or needs more, a little more calm, or it's just something different. And what we have here, if you go to the XP area under Step 5, Design Your Course Experience, you're going to see that we've got quite a lot of different sounds here available to you. So for example, we've got, let me see, as an example of what might be just, I guess, the complete polar opposite of the cha-ching, you might have something like, what's this one? That one's not really, that feels a little bit more uppity, but what about this? Still not quite right. Okay, what about a gong? So you can see we've got quite a few different sound effects, and if you find a sound effect that is, a sound that is more on brand with you, then feel free to upload it, because you can just upload your own sound effects here. I think, let me see, manage your custom sounds. We've got an area where you can upload your own sound effect. So upload your own MP3 file, and you can make the sound effect be whatever you want. So I hope that's helpful. And also it's important to remember that no matter how deep your topic, or no matter how serious your topic, you're still working with human beings. And especially if you are tackling really hard stuff that does cause people to that is difficult to get through, that's trauma, that brings up trauma or brings up problems, or just is difficult to work through, then you need to use this technology even more than the rest of us, because this is where people really, really do need your help to make it through to the finish line. Because if you're doing hard work, then you need even more help from technology to keep you moving. You need all of this technology, all of these concepts that Marissa's teaching you in the experience formula. You might not need the dings and bells and whistles, but you need to incorporate the rest of the experience formula to help move people through the process. All of the different aspects of the experience formula, like the constant wins and the mission and the future self and the community and the peak emotional experiences, it all stacks together to create the kind of experience that will pull people through. And you can use combinations of all of the experiences in the formula to create your own experience for your students, so you can pull them through the course material and keep them going until they get the result. So that's my answer to that question. I hope that helps, Peter. Okay, Trina, Trina, who asks, does Experienceify let you claim XPs more than once? For instance, if you complete and rewatch, so no, you can't get double experience points, but if you uncheck something, you can if you uncheck it, you'll lose the points, but if you recheck it, you'll get the points back. All right, so that's how the XPs work. Okay. Natalia asks, I'm wondering about progress reports and email progress updates. I think that's an EPM question, Natalia. This is not an EPM call. This is for the Experienceify software. So I encourage you to ask that question on the Facebook group or to the LYM support team if you can. Okay, so let me see next questions that we have. You see, 100 people on the line. Wow. I should just stop looking at that number. Wish you could hide it. That'd be great. Okay. So Susan asks, can you show us where your student mission goes? I'm thinking it should be obvious, but I couldn't figure it out. Okay, it's a great question. All right, so for those of you who aren't familiar with the student mission, if you're in EPM, you probably should be familiar by now with the student mission. This is the big reason, the big why behind why somebody should go through this course or this program or this experience with you. If you don't have a big why, then come up with one, because that's the most important reason someone will go through it. You got to give them a big why. And for EPM, it's design, market, and make $2,000 or a whole lot more from your experience product or in 12 weeks or less, so that you can get off the marketing treadmill, have more impact, and I forget the rest of it, but there's a mission statement that we have. And that when you invest in EPM, you buy into that as this is what I want. This is my big why. Okay. So we give you a spot inside of Experienceify to put this. All right. So let me show you. All right. So first of all, let me go to the EPM course. This is actually the behind the scenes of the EPM 2020 program. So when you're in the membership site, this is actually the control panel that's controlling it all. So I'm showing you behind the scenes here. So first of all, you want to come to step one here, the basics. So this is where you put your, actually, no, that's not what I want to show you. I apologize. First, come down to here to customize your course pages. Step 4. Now, what we've done here is give you all of the essential pages that you need for your membership site. So you've got your home page, all training, single module, bonuses, replays, account page, and the order form. These are all the pages that your student will need in order to go through your course. So we've pre-created them for you. And if you want to change what the mission says on the home page, because the mission would go on the home page, just like it does for EPM, if I go to the EPM membership site, you will remember this, hopefully, that, let me see, I'm on the wrong website. I apologize. Let me go back to the right one. This isn't EPM 2020. EPM 2020, that's it. If I go to the EPM site, you should recall this. So you got your mission and then a video, and then it's got the mission here. So how you customize that is you go to course homepage here, open that one, and this allows you to customize pretty much anything on the homepage of your course. And what you're seeing here is the EPM theme, right? So we've customized this theme to be on in the EPM colors and brand. So what we've got here, actually, let me show you a different one to make it less confusing for you. Right, so if I go to start with you, this is in the in the Experienceify theme. Okay, so you will recall this one. So here is mission. This whole section at the top that you can see is all about the mission. So we've put this section at the top specifically to allow you to tell people what the mission of the course is, because so many course creators make the mistake of just diving right into the content. I'm sure you know what I mean. You log into the membership site, it's got the name of the course, and then it's got 1,000 videos right afterwards. And that's the worst thing you can do, because it turns you off and it overwhelms you, and it makes you abandon the course. So what we wanted to do here, based on our research, is allow you to have this section at the top where you tell people again why they are there in the first place. Okay, so for this program that we have called Start With You, the mission is how to discover the business you're meant to build, not just the business you can build, but one that's both personally fulfilling and financially profitable. That's the mission of this particular course. And we have the video over here as well. And we've made it easy for you to just customize the mission section to say whatever you want. So whatever your course mission is, just customize it exactly like this on the course homepage area. And it's not possible to hide this section, simply because we believe it's so important to have a course mission, so that you can remind people the importance of why they're there in the first place every time they log into your membership site. So can you understand how important that is? To keep reiterating to people why it's important that they're doing this, that they want to take action. Because people will forget, we forget from day to day why we're doing the things that we do. So the more you can reiterate, both on the membership site and in each individual training that you do. If you notice in the EPM trainings, Marisa, at the start of every training, she reiterates the course mission for you, so you can remember for yourself why it is you're doing this. So I believe that she says something like, "Hi, welcome back to EPM, and your course, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to yada, yada, yada." This is her reiterating your course mission back to you, so that you remember why you're there. So many people just don't do this, and it's a huge reason why people will just abandon, because they forget why they're doing it in the first place. Okay, so
Murray, can I ask a follow-up question to that?
yeah.
You mentioned that I now understand where to put the mission, but when you said the homepage, is that the homepage for your membership site? Because on my membership site, there's going to be multiple courses, or is it the homepage for that particular course? I just want to be clear.
It's the homepage of your course.
Of your course. Okay,
Yes.
Got it.
So what we have here is what we call the hub. This is where all of your courses live.
Got it.
And this is just where you can advertise all of the courses that you have. So this is what we call a hub. And this is the homepage of the course itself. Right? So this is where your student will land straight after they buy. So you want to show them the mission, like remind them what the mission is. And then next, you want to tell them what their goals are. Right here, you can see here for EPM, our goals are $2,000, $2,500, and $3,000 as the goals that we propose to you. And then we allow you to customize your own goals. And that's one of the first things that Marisa asked you to do, was she asked you to name your own goals. Remember? So that's why we've tied that into the experience formula as experience number 2, which is future self. We want you to set goals for yourself. So as a student, so that's what you need to do for your students. Help them set goals, because people are really bad at setting their own goals, which is why so many people don't have goals. So if you can, the more you can help them set their own goals, then the more likely it is they'll actually hit them. Funny how that works. All right. I'm off my soapbox again now. I'm going to keep scrolling. Okay. Okay, I've got Clemmy asking about authorize.net. Authorize.net is just a gateway. You're going to need a shopping cart to go with that. And as long as that shopping cart integrates with Zapier, then you can use it. I got Irene asking, how do you experienceify with a one-to-one course offering? So I recommend that you, if you have a one-to-one, you would just, you would not need okay, someone started a screen share. Let me just stop that real quick. Sorry. Boom. Okay. Okay. I recommend for a one-to-one, when you're actually just helping one person at a time, you probably don't need a technology like this, because this platform is more for like a one-to-few group. Okay. So if you're just doing one-to-one, then I don't recommend getting technology involved, because you're just complicating things for yourself. And again, I shouldn't be saying this, but I don't want people paying for tools and technology that's not right for them. That's just how I am. You know, my pet peeve is software companies that sell you subscriptions that you don't need. So I know we've all bought our fair share of those. So Irene, I don't know if that helps, but I recommend just starting without technology at this point if you're just doing your first one-to-one and seeing how it goes. And once you start to see how people respond, and once you start to think about moving to a one-to-few model, because that's the next logical step after one-to-one, you want to go to a one-to-few, that's when you can start to leverage technology. Get the content that you've already proven that works into the technology, into the platform, and then you can start to get a handful of people into the platform at the same time. All right, make sense? Let me know if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Cool, sounds like it does. Okay. So I've got Nancy in the chat, and I'm going to throw to Laura, maybe, if she wants to weigh in on this one. Nancy's asking, what if our topic is very serious? Is there any data on the impact of gamification on that kind of experience? If you have anything to add, Laura, I'd love you to add, but don't let me put you on the spot. I'm happy to talk about it if you don't have anything right now. Just wave your hand if you like, if you don't want to share anything.
I have not seen research on that, but I can definitely take a look. I think gamification is mostly funded by video game companies, and so they're not usually dealing with really sensitive types of topics. That would be a fascinating thing to take a look at. So that's all I got.
That's all you got. Laura is our resident geek. She is the expert curriculum designer geek. She knows all of the research on how to do really effective curriculum design, and
Thank you.
She's my go-to for all of the research on this stuff. So
Murray, this
yeah.
is Nancy.
Hi,
That's
Nancy.
my question. Is there any testimonials or people who have done serious topics that I could hear from? And I have to take that call, so I will have to come back for an answer later.
All right, I'm going to put a link into the chat for you. So leave this on. You can go to this link. And,
Thank you.
And we've got lots of people who do serious stuff.
Okay, I would love to see a testimonial.
They're all there.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Excuse me, Murray.
Hey.
This is D. Anthony. I'm very interested in the same topic because I support people dealing with deep grief after loss. And so I have that same question. So if Laura is able to track down some information, would that be brought back to this call?
Maybe I can ask Laura to post it on the group, on the Facebook group, if she finds something.
Oh, that would be perfect. Thank you.
Cool. What I can say, and going back to what I was saying earlier, is that the more challenging the topic that you're tackling, and the deeper you have to go with people, the more help they need to get through it. So the more help you can give them in the form of helping them feel like they're making progress. And that's really what gamification is all about. Don't get hung up on the word game, because gamification is not about games. It's about leveraging the principles of that are used in games to help give people a sense that they're making progress. Because if you think about games, what are they expert in doing? They're expert in helping you feel like you're making progress through the game. Because if a game started you on the hardest level and you failed immediately, the game would not be successful. So they start you on the easiest level, and then they make it slightly harder, and then slightly harder, and then they throw in a surprise, and then they do this, and then they do that. So it's like a series of elements that are designed scientifically by people with degrees and PhDs in this topic. They're people that come from the science community who are experts in how do I get people motivated to take action. And it's just such a sad thing that they're being paid by the game industry and companies like Facebook and Instagram to use our inbuilt sort of brain, our dopamine and serotonin and our brain chemistry against us, because we can use these techniques in our courses to help get the same results that these companies are getting in their platforms. You know, it's just techniques to help people keep making progress, to give them what they need when they need it, so they can feel like they're getting somewhere, that it's not hopeless, that it's not just a never-ending road of I'm never going to get the result that I want. It's like, oh, I've achieved something. I'm making progress, and then the next small step, and then the next small step. I think one big tip I can give you is that, number one, redefine what gamification, the word, means to you. And two, don't have big, long trainings. Don't have 2-hour-long trainings where you are making people sit through this whole thing, because that's tough for anybody to sit through that level or that length or that amount of work. Try and break it up into much smaller segments where people they can get some information, they can put it into action immediately. They can try and get expert at breaking it up and using the experience formula and applying that to every little chunk of content that you have. If you can do that,
And definitely get that from a concept level. I think the thing is I'm having the back of my mind, and probably some of the others that have asked this question, is as we're going through it, it seems a little counterintuitive though, you know. So trying to kind of work around that. And so if there are any examples of students from the past who have incorporated it, you know, extremely well, it would be good to get a sense of what some of them have done to kind of breeze the path for us.
Interesting question. Obviously, it would be up to the course creator to share their learnings from how they've set up their course. I know that EPM is the best container for you to learn how to do this. Marisa deals a lot with people who are moving through very deep stuff, very troubling stuff. We have lots of students who deal with very troublesome topics. I'm not going to go into it right now, but like deep trauma and deep shame and deep stuff from childhood. And we have people going through EPM who have applied the experience formula to their content and turned it into the kind of experience that gets huge results for their students. So trust the process.
Murray, can I just mention that Super Better by Jane McGonigal, actually she's a game person. She created a game to help her recover from some brain trauma when she had a bike accident. So if somebody wants to really see how that works, her book is an excellent example of that.
Great. What was that name again?
Super Better by Jane McGonigal.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. The website is literally superbetter.com.
Thanks for that too. Appreciate it.
And I'm going to say she created a game website that is actually boring. So I don't recommend it. I think XP is better.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, for those who don't know, FYI, Experientify, the software, came out of EPM, the product and the process and the container. We were leading people through this process of Experientifying for 2 or 3 years before we ever had the idea to build a platform to allow you to take advantage of it as well. So we're basing this technology on everything that we've discovered and learned about how to motivate people to take action. So when you use this platform, you'll get the benefit of everything Marisa and I'm everything we've come up with for the last couple of years. And she and I sit around a table every week and talk about what's on our roadmap for the software. What are we going to implement? How are we going to get more engagement? How are we going to make this software the best of its kind in the world? So she's actively involved with all of the features that we're rolling out. So this is the place to be if this kind of thing is important to you. Let me hit the questions a bit more. Okay. Okay, I got Anne who's asking. Okay, I got Natalia who's asking, how can I show visually how much progress? What are the features for showing visually how much progress you made? We do have a sidebar right now in the membership site. This is the first little thing that we've done to help people see the progress they're making. You can see the sidebar here in the membership site. It says 0% complete, 0, 0, 0. So as a student, as you start to work through your course, you're going to see this progress bar start to populate, start to increase, and then we're actually going to be showing you check marks here so you can see the progress that you're making. So it's like a graphical timeline of everything that you need to do, what you've done, how far you are through the course. Now that I'm looking at this, my first thought is we should never display 0% complete. You know, this is the kind of thing that I'm thinking of when I look at my own product. I'm like, how can I make this even better? And any other platform would probably say 0% complete and call it a day. Now I'm reimagining what this could be, because I think 0% complete is really bloody demotivating, isn't it? So I'm going to make a note to update this so that it presents a more inspirational message. Something like, now is a great time to get started, that kind of thing. You know, because I'm a copywriter, I know how to make people feel good about having done nothing. I know how to make people feel good even when they should feel guilty. This is the secret of writing great copy. Never make people feel guilty. The secret of great software interfaces is never write something on your interface that makes people feel bad or guilty or like they've failed. This is where so many platforms go wrong. So I'm going to make a note for myself right now to go back and revisit that and put something a little bit more bloody positive up there. 0% bad. I appreciate whoever led me to that. But as far as more graphical, thank you. As far as more graphical kind of things, we have to figure out how we would do that in a way that's useful to everybody. So we're thinking more about that, because it's like the bird's eye view, isn't it? We've got to have a way to allow you to show the bird's eye view of your entire process and where people are in that process. So this is just a continued conversation that Marisa and I are having, and also we're having right now, because to be honest, these open office hours, while as an introvert, honestly, to be totally transparent, I don't look forward to them. Whenever I'm on them, it's a fantastic way to spend an hour with you guys, just to get your feedback on the product and how to make it better. And I got Natalia with her hand up. Why don't you unmute and ask?
Thank you, Murray. Thank you so much. So when it comes to serious topics like recovering from trauma or getting healthy and recovering from chronic illness, which is kind of my topic, I'm thinking that more than the blings, I don't know what you call it, more than the celebration of each chapter is knowing that even though it's hard, that you made progress. So I think one of the most motivating things is progress and knowing that things will get better. So like maybe even a video of someone who was where you were and saying, great job for getting here. And in 2 more weeks, you'll be a different person and you'll feel great or something.
That's a really good point. Let me show you something real quick. This is not deployed yet. We're hoping to get this out by the end of next week. Excuse me, I'm getting to the part of the call where I start coughing like a maniac. All right. This is my development site. So this is not public yet, but going back to what you were just saying, Natalia, now, this is what we're rolling out. This is our secret sauce right now. This is what I want to show you that we're going to be giving to you very, very soon. That will allow you to start doing really cool things in the platform. So for example, and consider this to be a part of the kind of demo that I wanted to do today. So let's say, for example, you want to add a new automation. And automation is basically just a sequence of activities. An automation could have an email in it. It could be a sequence of like an email, a text message, a delay, another email, a text message, a delay, a voicemail. It could be like a webhook that goes out to Zapier or some other cloud app. It could be any sequence of any of those things. Let me see. These are the actions that you can add to a sequence right now. So you've got emails, SMS, delay timer, and webhook. So these are the things that you can put into a sequence. Now imagine for a second, that you had somebody who had not logged into your course for 2 weeks. If someone hasn't logged in for 2 weeks, I would officially call them in danger. Someone very, very, very much in danger of just abandoning and never coming back. And the stats show that for each day that somebody doesn't log in, they're a lot more likely to never log in again, to be honest with you. So let's say that, for example, if you want to set up a new automation here, you click add new, and then you could set up a danger zone for people that you want to catch before they abandon your course altogether. Okay, so you would set up a trigger here, which would be no login for 2 weeks. So what this is going to do is this is going to find the people once they get to the 2 week mark and they haven't logged back in to your course. So for those of you who are doing like the serious course where somebody, you know, they might go into a rabbit hole of processing and feeling bad, and then they might think, I don't want to log into that course again because I just feel bad whenever I go through, or I feel this way, or I don't want to feel that way again. It just brings up stuff. Anything like that where people might just decide, you know, yeah, I don't really want to go back to that course just yet. I'll do it tomorrow, right? So this is the psychology of people that abandon. They think I'll just go back tomorrow, and then tomorrow, and tomorrow. They never get back to it at all. It never happens. So let's say you could automatically find the people who haven't logged in 2 weeks or more. Okay, so this trigger will go off once somebody hits 2 weeks without logging in. Okay, then next you want to let us know what's going to stop this automation. So that's going to be a login. So if somebody logs back in, that's going to stop this entire thing. Okay, and then this automation, you can, let's say that you want to run this once only. So the only time this can ever run is once. So add. So scroll down here to danger zone, and you want to add an action here. Add email. So first email. Sorry, I see D. Anthony squinting at me like he didn't understand what I was writing. So like, let me just type in something better, like worried about you. Email subject, worried about you, ... from name. So you could type in Coach D. Anthony, for example. And then here in the email, you'd be like, hi, whatever you like to say when you open your email. So you could say, hi, Murray. I've been worried about you. It's been 2 weeks since we saw you on in the community. I wanted to personally reach out to let you know that we're here for you, and that whatever you're going through right now, it's completely normal. And please reach out to us. We're thinking of you. We want to support with whatever you're going through. It's all good. We're here for you. You write the most supportive email you can come up with here in this box, and then you add it. Boom. So this is now set up. It's ready to go. So as soon as somebody gets to the 2-week mark without having logged in, they'll get that email from you, worried about you. Let's say that you wanted to double check that they get the message. So you could add an SMS here as well. Hi, Murray, just sent you an important message. Check inbox urgently. Coach D. Anthony. Love, support, whatever you want to put. Add. So as soon as it gets to 2 weeks, they're going to get the email, then they're going to get the text message, which comes from our central text number. Now, how much of a difference would just doing that make to the people that are depending on you to help them through this process? Imagine if you added a delay. Let's say delay for 3, let me see, hours, delay action for 3. Wow, that's wrong. This is why this feature is not public yet. It's supposed to say delay action for 3 and then days, months, and then the days or months, not the numbers here. So please imagine that this says days or months here, days, weeks, months. Okay, so imagine I've just selected days here. Okay, so delay action for next 3 days, add. So you can see it actually added correctly, 3 days. And then you add another email. You might want to duplicate this email here. So it's put that at the bottom. So worry about you want to go and edit that email to make it a different email. Hey, I sent you an email 3 days ago, and you want to follow on from that email. Like, can I give you a call, or could I have someone reach out, or just whatever the message is that you want to send to them, to know that they're not alone through this process. And then maybe another text message saying, thinking about you, checking in, is everything okay? So this is the kind of thing we're building in to help you engage the people who are in danger of abandoning the course. Because for most courses, 97% of people abandon the course. This is just the stats of traditional information products and traditional online learning. Most people do not make it to the finish line. And it's because platforms don't have systems like this to help you reach out, to help you automatically identify the people who are abandoning you and reach out to them and give them the right message at the right time so that they feel like you care. We do this in EPM. We have this project called the Unengaged Student Rescue Campaign. And for those EPM students who don't have more than 10 experience points by this coming Saturday, you're going to get an email and a text message from us with this kind of message. And this is one reason among many, one way that we keep so many more people going through EPM than any other course on the planet. Because we're thinking about all of the people. We're not just thinking about who's taking action, we're thinking about who's not taking action. Why are they not taking action? We're thinking through what's going on in their minds, in their lives right now that would stop them taking action. What's happening in the course right now? What content did I just drop on them that would make them want to opt out? So think about your course timeline. What did I just drop this week that will make people say, nope, I'm out? Speak to that. Address
Murray.
that. Hey,
Murray.
who's that?
This is Trina.
Hey.
I'm wondering, so when this automation takes effect and the second email goes out and it says something like, I'm going to call you, what happens? Would we receive an email? Would we receive a text? How will we know to take an action?
So you'll receive responses to the email.
Okay.
You'll receive responses to the email, and we actually receive responses to that text number, because it's our central number. So what we're doing is we're working out right now how to allow you to get your own phone number to text from, so that when people respond to that text message, it will arrive back into the student, like the student's profile page. So it'll have a section called messages, and then you'll see the text messages come back to you, and then we'll also we'll notify you that you received a text message and that kind of thing. So we have that coming soon, but for now it's just a central text number that comes back to us. And I think it's better to be able to send messages even with the sort of the current setup than to not be able to send messages. And of course it's up to you whether you want to use this system or not. That's just how it's set up right now. But know that coming in the next month or two, we'll have a two-way text system, and you can buy a phone number from us monthly, and just have the two-way student communication happening directly here on the screen, that you can actually see the message and type a reply back to them and send the reply back to them.
Murray, can I just pop in here?
Hi, Peter.
Hi. Can I say this is absolutely phenomenal stuff? I'm just bowled over by it, quite honestly. It's really moving. And what I'm thinking is that at the beginning of my course, I'm going to let my students know that we will be there to look after them if they have problems. So that when they actually get these messages, these automations, they'll really be, they'll know that we are doing what we said we would do and looking after their backs.
Beautiful.
So, I mean, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So many people talk a big talk, but they don't walk it when they sell you their course. They're like, we'll be here for you when you need us, and where are they when you need them? So we want to help you fulfill on your promises.
Yeah, brilliant.
Cool. So let me show you one other thing. We're over time, but gosh darn it, I have so much fun demonstrating all these cool things that I hope you forgive me for going over time a little bit, and focusing on what are the big needle movers in your business. What are the big things that you can do for your students that will get the huge results? I could be talking, I know there's a lot of questions here about can I do this and can I do this and can I do this? I don't know about how you feel, but I'd love to show you what are the big things that you can do for your students. I could speak about little features here and there, but I think this is the important stuff to be aware of, that you want to be building into your course and into your student experience. Is anyone with me? Does anyone resonate with that? So just one last thing real quick, and then I will go and answer the questions as best I can. So it's not just the negative stuff that we're helping you deal with, although that is really important. So you can see that there's the no login one, but we've also got the positive stuff. It's because when people start to take action, you want to encourage more of the action, right? So we've got things like, login, for example. So if somebody logs in, so this trigger by itself would be kind of useless, because who cares when someone logs in? But what if they log in after more than 2 weeks? Don't they deserve something special? What if you're running a campaign that reaches out to them after 2 weeks of no login, and then you encourage them to log in, they log in, then you set up an automation here which is going to catch them if they log in after more than 2 weeks of not logging in. Then you send an email saying, we're so happy to see you back. How powerful would that be? They're going to immediately think, wow, these people are actually like watching, and they're noticing and they're caring. So you can set up an automation for the login after a certain amount of time. Earned points. So if they earned more than 50 experience points or 500 experience points, you can actually send them, you can set up an automation to do something special for them. Maybe they're in the 500 XP club. I don't know. You can just use your imagination to come up with some cool stuff. Okay. Module completed. So you can choose once they complete a certain module, you can catch them. Or once they complete a certain training, once they've completed some piece of content, you can catch them with an automation here, and then send them an email saying, hey, I saw that you just completed the first module of Start With You. What did you think? Did you love how we did this and this? And did you catch this? And how did you find that? So you can talk to them. You can talk to them in the place they are right now, which is they've just finished a piece of content or a module, and they've checked off the actions, and then you can send them an email saying you can address them right where they're at. So this is the possibilities are endless in terms of how to set up the right kind of experience that is going to really wow the students and make them feel like you really care and keep them taking action, keep them moving. All right, that's all. That's all for that that stuff. Let me quickly go through the questions as fast as I can before I end the call, because we're over time. Okay. Let me see. If you have a one-to-one beta course and you determine to put it onto a piece of technology, then you can create a separate course, a separate container for each student that you can upload their coaching sessions to, or their replays, or their course material. You can have a, so sorry. You can tell I'm not used to this talking. It's been 2 months of no talking, and now I'm back to the open office hours talking. I'm just suffering. Yeah, you can set up a separate container course for every person that you're doing a one-to-one with. And if you're doing a one-to-one, then hopefully you're charging $1,000 or more for that. Hopefully a lot more. So you've got the time to duplicate a course and set them up as a separate course, and then give them access to just that course. So that might be a good way to do it. Have them set up a separate course container. Diane says, I'm turning one 21-day course into 3 21-day challenges as a result of moving to Experienceify. Cool. Let me see. Stephanie's asking, doing a done with you program. Can you give an example of how that would work? Not sure what you mean. Could you rephrase that? Okay. Let me see. Okay, scrolling. Is there a way to customize the login page, even if tech support does it, where it will not have a link to the store? Christy, do you mean the hub or the actual login page of the course itself? Let me know in the chat. Brian's asking, is there a quiz or test feature? I know someone on the call who has some strong views about quizzes and tests as a way to test student knowledge after completing a module. We do not have a quiz or test feature. We're debating whether to even add it as a native feature, simply because, Brian, the research says that quizzes and tests don't help people. They don't aid comprehension at all. They don't successfully determine whether someone has actually learned something, and it's actually all it does is measure whether somebody's still there. It actually measures the lowest level of learning that's possible. With an experience product, you want to take them a few levels up, which is get them into an experience, get them into their body, get them doing something, get them taking action. And just clicking off a few things on a test is not getting them to action. It's not really achieving anything worthwhile. And science has proven, I'm not sure if Laura is still on the call, but ask Laura on the Facebook group to send you research on this, but the science has proven that tests don't result in any greater comprehension or recall of any facts that you've taught them in the course. So that's why we're having ethical problems incorporating it, even though they're so popular. Okay, getting to the end. Let me see, scrolling fast. I apologize if I miss anybody. What is a webhook? From Christina. Webhook is basically where you can talk to another cloud-based application. So if you have a CRM or an email program or some other system, you can use a webhook to reach out to us and communicate information, like send information into us, or you can send information out, right? So that's what that is. But if you don't know what it is, you probably don't need it right now. Just saying. SMS, email, do you have integration with ConvertKit? Yes, through Zapier. Everything is done through Zapier if you want to talk to other platforms, except the webhook, which you can talk to any platform, not just Zapier. All right. Gosh, people have some questions. Okay. Mission complete. Have you checked in with this? Do you have Carla's asking, do you have a tag capability for users? No, I'm not even sure what that is. Maybe you could give me a rephrase that for me. Okay. Carla's asking, do you get a lot of stops with SMS? In our marketing campaigns, we do get stops because I think the law says you have to write at the end of every message, reply a stop to opt out or something like that. So we do get people who opt out of our marketing. I'm pretty sure that they're probably not going to opt out of these communications that you send them if you're doing your job right. You're not going to be using these SMSs to sell them like timeshares, hopefully. So hopefully there'll be no reason to, you'll be sending a value and support, so there'll be no reason to opt out. All right, getting to the end of these now. Okay. Okay, got to the end. Got to know custom domain. Eduardo was asking about custom domain. It's coming in 2 weeks. We have a custom domain. Carla has rephrased, how about surveys? So you can tag people in terms of experience. So you're thinking of Ryan Levesque's ask method, where he does his bucketing, I think, where you can survey people up front as they come into your funnel. No, we don't have that. That sort of thing is interesting to us, but we don't have it yet, and it's not on the roadmap quite yet. Christy again is got a lot of questions for me. Do you have a timeline yet for the surprise bonuses? Surprise bonuses and bonuses that can self-destruct. So good question. What you just saw in the automations where you can actually trigger based on the XPs that people earn. So trigger based on 50 XPs, for example. Now that we have that trigger, we're going to be able to add a new kind of automation, like a new step in the sequence, which is maybe release content or release bonus or something like that. So now we have the trigger, we might be able to add in things like release content as a surprise content release. So let's say that somebody earns 50 experience points, or if they complete a certain training, you might do a surprise release of a bonus. So you want to make sure that somebody's engaged, they get to a certain point, and then they hit 50 XPs, then you'll send them an email saying, congratulations, you just unlocked the super engaged, awesome student bonus. And here's a direct link to get your bonus. And who knows what could be in the bonus. It's like one of those pattern interrupts where you're like, surprise and delight. Whatever you can do to surprise and delight to show people that this isn't just another, we're not in Kansas anymore kind of experience. So yes, Christy, that stuff is definitely in the pipeline because we're already doing it. Robert asks, when will automation be available? I'm assuming my tests go well this week. I'm thinking end of next week. Let's all cross our collective fingers, yeah? Surveys. Everybody wants surveys. Got it. Especially Stephanie and Carla. Got it. And Dr. Tejo Tan in Singapore is asking about can the client pay through TransferWise or Revolut? Don't know what those are, but if they have an API, if they can talk to Zapier, then you can use those platforms and those gateways. Yes, as long as they talk to Zapier or the internet in some way. And Barbara's on the bandwagon with surveys too. You're all ganging up on me now. Okay. The actual login page. So Christy's asking about the login page link. Let me show you something real quick. And then I'm going to end the call and go off and quietly die in the corner somewhere. Okay, Christy, listen up. Over here, go to your account page. Let me see. Gosh, I'm not even sure I'm not even sure we have a link here. Okay, cool. So let me show you a secret hidden feature that nobody knows about, that only I know about. Let's say that your school is here. This is our school for our hub, rather, for Leave Your Message. So this is our hub, and you're asking about the login page. So right now, the only login page you're aware of is this one. This is the main login page for Experienceify, but there is a secret login page which clearly hasn't been announced in the UI anywhere. That's my bad. If you go to your school hub link /login, dun dun dun, there's a super secret login page. Or maybe this is the one you're talking about. Store. Yes, this is the page you're talking about. So you want to know if you can customize these links. Is that right, Christy? Waiting for the big yes and uppercase here. Delete the second link. Can't delete it for now. I apologize. But yeah, we'll add some more customization soon. Maybe there's a way to do it with CSS. Let me experiment real quick. Class login page, forgot password. Let me add it to our CSS real quick. Wouldn't that be a nice trick? Account, courses, students. No, it's not going to work on CSS because CSS is specific to a course. It's not specific to the entire account. So, okay, we're on it, Christy. Christina asks, can you customize in other languages? You definitely can customize in other languages. You want to go to here, to this thing here, customize course pages, step 4, click through to the individual pages, and then for most things, you're able to change the text. You're able to change the text that we show. So meaning that you can customize all the text that we have on the interface. Like so. Okay. If we've missed any little pieces of text, let us know and we will add them in. That's about, okay, one last question. Cornelia, step 2, is it possible as well to choose a one payment as a, I'm not sure what you mean, Cornelia. I'm having trouble understanding the question. We're at 4:25 and I am at the end of my all available energy for the day. Yep. All right. Cool. So I really appreciate everyone's time to join me today and putting up with my coughing fits. I hope you got some value out of this. I feel like in some way this is kind of an extension of what you're learning in EPM, because the product and the EPM and Experientify are so intertwined and so closely inform each other that the more I can show you how to do it in Experientify, the more you'll understand how best to do it in EPM with your own course. Everything we're doing in Experientify is designed to reinforce what you're doing in EPM. And everything in the platform is informed by everything we've learned doing EPM for the last 5 years, by taking folks like you through this process of creating, designing, launching, selling, engaging, motivating. So we're actually in this with you by doing this every year with all of our courses. We're not just the kind of people that try and teach you how to do it without actually doing it ourselves. We're doing this all the time ourselves and figuring out what's working and what's not working. So hopefully you can see the value in learning from our mistakes and our successes. And that's all we can really do. Just make it available to you, and hopefully you'll get some benefit out of it. And more importantly, I hope your students get some benefit out of it, because that's really why we're all here. So with that, I'm gonna log off. Feel free to open your mic and let us say goodbye and let us hear your voice.
Thank you, Murray.
Thanks, Murray. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Murray,
Nice
feel
summer,
better.
honey. Figure call.
Bye.
Good to see you all. Thank you.
Feel better.
Bye.
Very helpful.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Thank you. Bye.